Have you ever found yourself longing for closeness with someone you love, but feeling stuck? Like there's an invisible wall between you and intimacy? You're not imagining it, and you're definitely not alone. Past experiences, moments of hurt, or emotional trauma can quietly shape how we connect with others, sometimes without us even realizing it. It could be something from childhood, like feeling unseen or unheard. Maybe it was a difficult breakup, a controlling partner, or even subtle patterns of rejection that left scars. These experiences don't disappear. They linger in your mind, body, and heart, affecting how safe, open, or vulnerable you feel in your relationships. The surprising part? Trauma doesn't always look dramatic. It often shows up as anxiety during closeness, avoiding emotional or physical intimacy, low desire, or even guilt and self doubt. Many women blame themselves, their partner, or even stress or hormones. But the hidden root may be unresolved emotional pain. In this video, we're going to explore exactly how past trauma can affect intimacy. We'll uncover the biological, emotional, and relational patterns that keep us disconnected and share practical, empowering ways to reclaim closeness, trust, and pleasure in your relationships, no matter your age. By the end, you'll have a clear understanding of the invisible ways trauma influences your love life and simple, actionable steps to start breaking down those walls. So if you've ever felt distant, disconnected, or held back in your relationships, stick with me. This video could completely shift how you experience intimacy and connection. So, why does past trauma affect intimacy so deeply? The answer lies in how our brain and body store experiences. When we experience emotional pain or trauma, our nervous system remembers it. Think of it like your body keeping a silent journal of every moment you felt unsafe, rejected, or hurt. Over time, these memories create patterns in your brain, wiring you to be cautious, protective, or even avoidant when it comes to closeness. Here's a simple way to imagine it. Picture intimacy as a garden. Trauma is like a layer of rocky soil underneath. You might plant seeds of trust and desire, water them, and care for them, but the roots struggle to grow through those hard layers. That's why even when everything seems right on the surface, you might feel tension, distance, or fear. Science also shows that trauma can affect key hormones and chemicals that govern connection and pleasure. Oxytocin, the bonding hormone, can be harder to release, leaving you feeling emotionally distant even during physical closeness. Stress hormones like cortisol can spike during intimacy, triggering fight or flight reactions instead of relaxation and enjoyment. In other words, your body can respond as if you're in danger, even when you're safe. And it's not just about hormones. Trauma often influences your self-image and beliefs about love. You might subconsciously think, I'm not worthy of closeness, or if I get too close, I'll get hurt again. These beliefs reinforce emotional walls, making it harder to fully engage in intimacy. The good news? Understanding these patterns is the first step toward change. When you recognize that your reactions aren't broken or weird, but a natural response to past experiences, you gain power. You can start gently rewiring your nervous system, rebuilding trust in yourself and others, and creating space for authentic connection. In the next part, we'll dive into practical strategies that help you reclaim intimacy, restore trust, and feel pleasure without fear. Tools that really work in your daily life. Now that we understand why trauma can affect intimacy, let's talk about what you can do to reclaim closeness, pleasure, and trust in your relationships. The key here is gentle, consistent steps. Tools you can use at your own pace to help your mind, body, and heart feel safe again. 1. Start with self-awareness. The first step is simply noticing your patterns. Pay attention to moments when you feel tense, disconnected, or anxious during intimacy. Ask yourself, what am I feeling? Where in my body do I feel it? You might notice tightness in your chest, shallow breathing, or a knot in your stomach. Naming these sensations is powerful because it allows your nervous system to feel seen and acknowledged rather than ignored. 2. Breath work to reconnect your body. Your breath is one of the most effective tools to calm your nervous system and signal safety. Try this simple exercise. Sit or lie comfortably. Place one hand on your chest and the other on your belly. Inhale slowly for a count of 4, feeling your belly rise. Hold for a count of 2. Exhale gently for a count of 6. Repeat this 5 to 10 times. Over time, this deep breathing can help your body release stress hormones and create a sense of safety, making intimacy feel more natural. 3. Rebuilding trust with gentle touch. Trauma can make touch feel threatening, even when it's loving. Start with small, safe gestures, holding hands, a hug, or a gentle massage. Notice the sensations without judgment. Encourage your partner to check in with you and do the same for them. The goal is not to rush to sexual intimacy, but to rebuild comfort and trust in your body and with your partner. 4. Mindful connection. Practices. Mindfulness isn't just meditation, it's a way to be fully present. Try this during intimacy. Focus on one sensation at a time, like the warmth of your partner's hand or the rhythm of your breathing together. If your mind wanders to fear or old memories, gently bring it back to the present moment. This trains your brain to associate closeness with safety and pleasure rather than anxiety. 5. Journaling and emotional processing. Writing about your experiences is a powerful way to process trauma. Set aside 10 to 15 minutes daily to journal your thoughts, fears, and desires. Over time, you'll notice patterns and triggers, and you can work to reframe them. For example, instead of thinking, "I'm broken," you might write, "I'm learning what my body needs to feel safe and loved." 6. Optional enhancements. Movement. Gentle yoga or stretching releases tension stored in the body. Focus on hips, chest, and shoulders, areas where trauma often gets stuck. Supplements. Magnesium, omega-3s, and adaptogenic herbs like ashwagandha can support nervous system balance, but always check with a healthcare professional first. Self-compassion practices. Affirmations like "I deserve closeness and pleasure" help rewire limiting beliefs. 7. Gradual exposure. Remember, rebuilding intimacy is a journey. Start with small steps, like holding your partner's hand during a walk, and gradually progress. Celebrate small victories, whether it's feeling relaxed during a hug, laughing together, or simply sharing a private moment without tension. Think of this process as planting seeds in your relationship garden. Each act of self-awareness, breathwork, gentle touch, or mindful connection nourishes those seeds. Over time, roots grow deeper, flowers bloom, and intimacy becomes not something to fear, but something to fully enjoy. By combining awareness, body-centered practices, and emotional healing, you create a safe space where closeness and pleasure are possible again, at any age. Before we wrap up, it's important to talk about the common mistakes that can quietly sabotage your journey to intimacy. These are easy to fall into, but recognizing them early can save a lot of frustration and heartache. 1. Rushing the process. Don't be that person who expects instant results. Healing from past trauma takes time. Pushing yourself into intimacy before you feel ready often reinforces fear, tension, or avoidance. Start small, honor your pace, and celebrate even the tiniest wins. 2. Ignoring your body's signals. Your body communicates constantly. Tight muscles, shallow breathing, or a racing heart are signs that your nervous system is on alert. Ignoring these cues or powering through intimacy can create more trauma. Listen, pause, and respond gently. Your body is your ally, not your enemy. 3. Skipping emotional check-ins. Many women skip emotional processing because it feels uncomfortable or unnecessary. Avoiding your feelings can create walls that block intimacy. Journaling, talking to a therapist, or even sharing with a trusted partner is crucial. Bottled up emotions don't disappear. They often show up as tension, low desire, or conflict. 4. Comparing yourself to others. Social media, movies, or friends' experiences can make intimacy feel like a performance. Comparing yourself only fuels guilt, shame, and anxiety. Remember, intimacy is personal and unique. Your journey is yours. Honor it. 5. Neglecting professional support when needed. If trauma feels overwhelming or persistent, don't try to handle it alone. Therapy, support groups, or trauma-informed coaching can provide guidance and tools that accelerate healing. Seeking help is a strength, not a weakness. 6. Overlooking your own pleasure. Focusing only on your partner's needs or ignoring your own pleasure can reinforce disconnection. Intimacy is mutual. Prioritize your comfort, curiosity, and joy. Small steps towards self-pleasure or mindfulness around pleasure can make a big difference. 7. Expecting perfection. Mistakes, setbacks, or awkward moments are part of the journey. Trying to be perfect only creates stress and shame. Embrace imperfections. They're signals that you're learning, growing, and reclaiming intimacy. Avoiding these mistakes helps you stay on track, build confidence, and create a safe space for closeness. Remember, trauma doesn't disappear overnight, but conscious choices and small, consistent actions make transformation possible. Let's quickly recap what we have covered. Past trauma can quietly shape how we connect with others, influencing trust, desire, and even how our bodies respond to intimacy. It's not about blame. It's about understanding the patterns your mind and body have learned over time. We explored why trauma affects intimacy. Your nervous system remembers pain, stress hormones can spike during closeness, and limiting beliefs about love and safety create invisible walls. But here's the empowering part. You can gently and intentionally reclaim connection. The solutions are practical and approachable. Start with self-awareness. Notice how your body reacts. Practice breathwork to calm your nervous system and rebuild trust with gentle touch. Mindful connection, journaling, and small, consistent steps create space for authentic intimacy. Avoid rushing, ignoring your body, or comparing yourself to others. These common mistakes can slow your progress. Now, here's a simple viewer challenge for this week. Take 5 minutes a day to practice deep, conscious breathing. Write down one moment where you notice your body reacting during closeness. Share your reflection with yourself or a trusted partner. Just noticing is the first step toward change. I'd love to hear from you. Which of these practices feels most doable for you? Which one do you think will help you feel safer, more connected, or more present in your relationships? Comment below and let's start a conversation. You might inspire someone else who's struggling too. If this video helped you see intimacy in a new light, like it, share it with a friend, save it for later, and subscribe for more guidance on emotional health, relationships, and personal growth. Every small step you take toward understanding your past is a giant leap toward enjoying the closeness and pleasure you deserve. Remember, intimacy is a journey, not a destination. And with awareness, compassion, and practice, you can finally break down the walls trauma has built and experience connection on your terms.